Good afternoon, parents and families, teachers, staff, and the graduating class of 2021. As we gather here today with our green caps and gowns, I want you to take a moment to look back at your life here at NIS and remind yourself of everything that has happened. Ask yourself, what are you most reminded of? It might be the dreadful and/or exciting anticipations of NYP and DP, or it might be all those sleepless nights and tiring days we have dedicated ourselves into preparing an exam or finishing up an assignment. Or it might simply be times of friends filled with drama, gossip, but mostly laughter. And of course, the tears we have shared with each other throughout all of the hard moments. All of these, at the end of this very first road, are kept inside of me as one of the most precious moments of my life. But today, I am not here to talk about all of the memories we have shared. I'm here to talk about how each and every one of you sitting here today has inspired me. Amongst all the words people have used to describe me, there's one word that has surprised me. It was one of my closest friends describing me as a person that is prideful. And it surprised me because not only was this a foreign word, but something that I didn't associate with myself. But as I reflected on this word, pride, it started to make me see the relationship I have with academics. When I first came here in 7th grade, many of you may remember this, but I was a very shy, closed-off person. I loved being at home alone over everything. I was really bad at replying to texts and messages. And I was dependent on myself, and myself only. And this wasn't because I didn't like to be around people, but more because I had a wall surrounding around myself so that I am ensured that I get those 7s and 8s that satisfy me. And no matter how many times Mr. Moody has told us before getting into DP that everyone can get a 7, so collaboration is the key, that concept also didn't really sink in me well. Now, this pride I have for academics might not have been completely a bad thing. It drove me to study, to become better. It got something that I was satisfied with. And most of all, it got me this title as well. So, going back to the very first question, what are you most reminded of in your life here in NIS? My old self would definitely say getting this honorable title and having this speech in front of all of you. But me today would say, as cheesy as it might sound, the compassion and kindness our class collectively has. It will never get old how whenever we have unit tests for any subject, we would gather at one corner of the room to have our final revision. The calls I am pretty sure every one of you had before exams. Even writing up this speech, it only took, what do you guys think of our class? For my friends to start giving me ideas. Or those times when someone was having a hard time, a group of friends would rush into the bathroom to console them. Even outside of class, whenever someone needs help, we would always be there for each other. Take the unforgettable trampoline place as an example where we went at the end of 8th grade. At the end of the day, there was a broken bone, broken glass, and a few scars. And I remember how we assembled a small emergency room on the 2nd floor where we pitched in however we could. Some comforted, some Googled, some bandaged, and some had the wits to call their parents. Seriously, that day we made a whole trauma team together. And as a student who's going into medical school next year, that might have been my very first trauma team experience that I ever had. But it was these moments that taught me what was more important than mere grades, plain numbers, and personal satisfaction. It's the joy of helping others, the warmth of being cared about, and most of all, the relief of being accepted as who you are. This acceptance and compassion we collectively have is, I know, what unites us as a class. As one teacher mentioned before, quoting, "You guys are really close to each other. We might seem like independent individuals who are socially inept from afar, but we know that whenever we need help, we would always have each other to rely on at any moment, at any time. And in these harder moments of the pandemic, I know this has all moved us forward. Now, years later, as I stand on this podium today, I can't lie. I still love my home. I still am bad at replying to texts, and I still have pride in my academics. So in a way, you can say that I haven't changed much. But I think the important part is that I didn't need to change. And that's because each and every one of you has accepted me as who I am and helped me become more confident today. But your warmth has allowed me to reflect on myself, and the compassion this class has taught me to understand that grades are not what define us, but more the impact we have on others matter. This is how you all have inspired me. And so taking my experience, I just want to tell you to keep that kindness, keep the compassion, and most of all, just keep being who you all are. Because today, after the long years here in NIS, I can confidently say that this, what we collectively have as a class, is what I have most pride in. And it was such an honor to be a part of this group. I wish you all good luck in your next journeys. Thank you very much.